You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. Ed Orgeron, since he has become LSU's head coach, has not lost to Ole Miss. I've told this story before. I'll say it again. When you come out of the LSU locker room in Tiger Stadium, like when the players come out of the locker room, they make a right turn to go down to the tunnel that fans see them, come out of where they touch the wind bar. Well, when they're coming on that, there's a wall on the left, and they have a display of the great wins in Tiger Stadium history. And every time there's a night game or a ranked opponent or something like that, they'll add the game to the final score and the date and all that stuff to the wall. And it's just a big long. I mean, you can go all the way back to Billy Cannon's run and 1997 against Florida, all the great wins. And in 2016, LSU, which was ranked at the time, had a double-digit win over an unranked Ole Miss team. And that game got put on that wall. And I asked somebody about it, and they said, I was like, got a win over an unranked Ole Miss team? What was it? Anyway, it was explained to me, as long as Ed Orgeron is the coach at LSU, the Ole Miss game will always matter. For him, because of how it ended there with him and them or whatever, for him, this game means more. Mm-hmm. And coaches will rarely say that publicly, it's the next game or whatever. This one means more for Ed. It has always been ratcheted up since he's been here internally. Now, this is a weird week. This is a weird week with Ed, as a lame duck, first game as a lame duck coach. We know he's not coming back. Emotional day in Oxford. They're going to be retiring Eli Manning's number 10, although none of the players there now care. But it's still something that's going to create a ton of environment there in Oxford at Vaught-Hemingway tomorrow at 2:30. How does LSU respond coming off a big win over Florida? Now they know their coach isn't going to be back. For me, there's a lot of those elements in this game, but the bottom line is I'll go back to what I said over the summer. And all throughout the summer, we make picks, right? What do you think their record's going to be? You go game by game. And I said over the summer, all summer, that I thought they would be 9-3. I thought they'd lose to Bama. I thought they'd go 2-1 at home against Florida, Auburn, and A&M. And they still could well do that if they beat A&M at home. And I thought they'd lose at Ole Miss. And a lot of people didn't like that. I got a lot of flack from that all summer. But the point that I made is from SEC Media Days, of everything I heard, what stood out the most was how, stunningly confident Lane Kiffin and Matt Corral, that they were in their offense. Mm-hmm. And it's manifest. I mean, they are fantastic. Matt Corral, he was a turnover machine last year, had 6 interceptions against Arkansas. I think he threw 3.5 against LSU, 3.5 against LSU. I mean, it was a problem. As of now, he's got 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. He has protected the football, and they can score. And you look at LSU, without its 2 starting defensive ends, without its 2 best cornerbacks, I don't know that LSU has enough depth to last the whole game against that pace, that tempo, that skill, that play caller. It's just a huge offensive advantage for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss that I think they're going to score a bunch. Ole Miss is going to score into the 40s in this game, maybe into the 50s. Florida did it last week. Florida scored 42, put up 500 yards and 42 points despite committing 4 turnovers. Florida protected the football. They might have scored 70. But I think Ole Miss is going to score a ton. LSU is going to have to keep pace, and I don't know that they can. I'm going to pick Ole Miss to win the game. I've said it all summer. I'm going to pick them to win. But you all should be thrilled that I'm picking Ole Miss to win the game, and you know why.
You're wrong. You've been wrong on LSU all year.
Every game.
Yep.
The only games I've nailed were McNeese and Central Michigan.
And nailed those 2.
But that's my point. It's who cares? Even my homer picks, I picked them to beat UCLA. I picked them to beat Auburn. I picked them to beat Kentucky. I was wrong on all those. The 2 games I picked them to lose were Mississippi State and Florida, and they won those 2. So I've been dead wrong on this team and trying to judge their cadence all season. So I'm picking Ole Miss to win the game. I hope I'm wrong again. I hope Ed O goes to 6-0 against Ole Miss. I hope Ole Miss's dreams are crushed. I hope that all those people leave Vaught-Hemingway Stadium tomorrow crying the same way they did back in 2003 when Chad Lavallee pushed that dude right into Eli Manning's lap. So let's just enjoy another football Saturday.
I got the Tigers for all the reasons that you just said. I think Florida, though, defense is much better than Ole Miss's defense. And I watched LSU put up points against Florida's defense. They do not have depth on the defensive line. And you've got your two starting corners out there, maybe the two best corners in the country. Top best corners.
Best tandem, for sure.
But the guys that stepped in played great last week. And we saw a defense that was different. It looked different. Obviously, everybody's been talking about the running game and some different schemes. Now, Ole Miss is going to prepare for that a little bit better, but we've seen Ty Davis-Price now 2 games in a row run the football. If they can keep the ball out of Matt Corral's hands and the team can score, I like LSU in this game, and I think they win.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.